putting. 4 skills: read, aim, stroke, touch. Okay. Now, what we're trying to do when we get set up is create very specific conditions. When you get set up in your hands, I want that club going right through the lifelines in both hands. Okay, when you do that in the left hand, you're going to see it coming way up here underneath that thumb pad, different from the heel pad in our full swing. So when you put that guy in the lifelines, you're going to see that's pretty much the middle of my arm. So that when we get down here like this, you're going to see the shaft kind of disappearing in between my forearms here. You don't want to see that. Now, when you have the club in the lifelines, what that does is it puts the fingers directly underneath the wrist. Okay, and that way, if there's any wrist action there, it's going to be on path with our stroke. You don't want to have your fingers out there because it creates a lot more wrist action. And any type of time you have more wrist action or more inside to inside when you putt, there's more timing involved.
Okay.
So we got the club right in our lifelines. We want the putter sitting flat on the ground. We don't want the toe up. We don't want the heel up. A lot of people like the fully extended arms. I putt a little bit this way. It's really a matter of style. The skills we're really after is read, aim, stroke, and touch, and 3 of them are instinctive, so you already know how to do them. I'm just going to show you how to tap into it.
Okay.
So once we get ourselves set up, putter flat, our arms are going to be hanging pretty much straight down from the shoulders. We don't want to pick a fight with gravity, because when we start swinging, we want our arms swinging underneath what they're swinging from. Because if we have our arms out there, they're always going to want to seek the support of what they're hanging from. So we don't want to start creating a lot of loops and things like that in our putting stroke.
Okay.
Because we're basically trying to aim that putter and start the ball straight out of the face where the putter's aimed. Otherwise, there's no point in reading an aim.
Sure.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the putter sitting flat, arms hanging from our shoulder. We want our eyes pretty much looking straight out of our face. Okay. You ever watch Jack Nicklaus putt? His back of his head is flat to the ground.
Yeah.
And when he looks, he's always looking this way. Okay. Now, once you get that set, that'll actually really help you track where your putter's aimed while you're over the putt. I'll show you that off camera.
Okay.
Little technical stuff. It's pretty cool though. So what we're trying to do is this. I don't know if the camera can pick up that dot, but what you're going to do is you're going to see that pretty much right on my eye line there. Now I'm going to get my head down like this, and you're going to see that dot pretty much right where the ball's going to be.
Yeah.
So that when my head spins to look at the hole, you're going to see that pretty much track right down the target line. It'll go right into the middle of the hole. If my head's up a little bit, it's going to be well to the right. And your eye will pick that up and start developing a bit of a pull, or what you already have the tendency to do. Okay. And I'll show you how to do that. And most people, when they putt, they don't focus on a hand. Which hand needs to be the one that's in control? Most people feel it in their right, but when Nicklaus made that putt in '86 on 17, which hand went up?
Left.
Left. There's something telling you that it's a little more important to hold on with that left hand than the right, even though this is going to be your feel hand. Okay. There's biological interference with the right hand. When the bicep hits the pec, it has a tendency to close the blade. So then we start getting into pushing and pulling. So when I get set up, and come on over here for a second. When I get set up, I want to be able to roll that ball straight underneath that line right there. And it's a lot easier for me to do when my left hand goes forward and up like that. And what you're trying to do is have that putter finish square and on line. We don't want that putter moving all over the place underneath the line, okay? So what we've got to try to do is rock our shoulders pretty much like an airplane wing. We don't want a lot of this. All right, the more arc we have, the more timing's involved. So what we're trying to do is create those setup conditions and have our shoulders rock like an airplane wing, okay? Now that's going to be able to keep the putter pretty much underneath that line, even though you see there's a slight arc to it. All right, so those are basically the conditions we're trying to create when we putt. Now there's another element to it. Once the putter starts swinging, how big does the stroke get, and what's the rhythm? Okay, because a lot of that's going to be determined by the speed of the greens. If they're really fast, you're not going to need a big stroke, but there is a constant rhythm that you see good players with good short games utilize. And it is basically the speed of gravity. This is the timing that we've been beaten with since the day we've been born onto this planet. It's one, one. It's always the same time. No disturbance in the rhythm. So we're trying to create a one, one type of a relationship. Don't speed it up. Don't slow it down. So don't gas it.
Gotcha.
So the hard part is trusting that your instincts are good enough to pick the right length. And you already know how to do this. Every time I ask people to do this, I have them put the ball in their fingers like this, and I go, throw me the ball. And they just do this, and they throw it the perfect distance. I go, how did you know how far back to go?
Instinct. I
And
don't
they
know.
go, huh. And that's why. And we have to learn to start staying out of our intellect and more into our instinct and feel. Okay?
Okay.
So that's pretty much what we're going to work on today. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll give you some drills as to how to practice these and train these muscles, so that you know how to find them next time you come back out.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try that.